Burkina Faso is at a turning point. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the country's young and determined leader, has just launched a high-stakes offensive, not on the battlefield, but against one of the nation's biggest internal threats: corruption. Under his direct command, a new anti-corruption task force has been formed, aiming to dismantle the networks of embezzlement, fraud, and misuse of public funds that have long plagued the nation. But with corruption deeply embedded in government institutions, businesses, and even the military, can Traoré's initiative truly bring about change? Or will it provoke powerful resistance from those who stand to lose? Will this be remembered as a historic step toward transparency, or will it simply consolidate more power under his rule? In this video, we take a deep dive into the real motivations behind this task force, the challenges it faces, and what this means for the future of Burkina Faso's political and economic landscape.
Corruption is a major problem that plagues African societies, including Burkina Faso. The current government, led by President Ibrahim Traoré, is well aware of this issue and is taking steps to combat it. Recently, a new anti-corruption strategy has been implemented in order to address this problem.
Encountering Burkina Faso's anti-corruption crusade. Corruption has long hindered Burkina Faso's progress, stifling economic growth, weakening governance, and eroding public trust. Bribery, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power are deeply rooted in both the public and private sectors, obstructing development initiatives, discouraging foreign investment, and worsening social inequality. President Ibrahim Traoré has made anti-corruption efforts a central focus of his administration. Determined to restore credibility to government institutions, he has established a powerful anti-corruption task force operating under his direct command. Unlike previous efforts that were undermined by political interference and weak enforcement, this initiative aims to hold high-ranking officials accountable. The task force has broad authority to investigate government officials, scrutinize public transactions, and ensure financial malpractice is punished. By taking a firm stance, Traoré seeks to send a strong message that corruption will no longer be tolerated. However, this initiative faces significant challenges, including resistance from entrenched elites, the risk of political misuse, and concerns about national stability. Success will depend on the task force's ability to enforce transparency and accountability while maintaining public trust in the fight against corruption.
In a world where Africa has long been seen as dependent on foreign aid, one leader has made an unprecedented move that challenges the very foundation of this belief. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, is sparking a wave of change that could reshape the continent's future. His bold actions have not only put corrupt African leaders on notice, but also shown the world that Africa can thrive independently without relying on foreign assistance. Unlike many leaders who merely talk about change, Traoré is proving through action that self-reliance is not only possible, but essential for true progress.
The structure and objectives of the Anti-Corruption Task Force. Traoré's Anti-Corruption Task Force is envisioned as an independent entity with unprecedented investigative powers. Unlike previous commissions, which were often plagued by inefficiency, bureaucratic hurdles, and susceptibility to political pressure, this new body reports directly to the president. The task force is designed to operate with speed, efficiency, and integrity, ensuring that corruption cases are thoroughly investigated and that justice is served without undue influence. Number 1. Direct presidential oversight. One of the defining characteristics of this initiative is its direct accountability to President Traoré. By centralizing oversight, the president seeks to prevent interference from powerful figures who may attempt to obstruct investigations. This ensures that corruption cases are handled with urgency and efficiency, reducing the likelihood of delays that could compromise the integrity of investigations. Historically, anti-corruption efforts in Burkina Faso have been hindered by bureaucratic inertia and political interference. Previous commissions and agencies tasked with combating corruption often found themselves entangled in red tape, limiting their effectiveness. By placing the task force under direct presidential control, the government aims to eliminate these obstacles, and empower the body to function without external meddling. However, while this direct control may enhance the task force's effectiveness, it also raises concerns about potential overreach. Critics argue that the concentration of power could lead to selective justice, with the task force being used as a tool to target political opponents while shielding allies. Such concerns are not unfounded, as history has shown that anti-corruption drives in various countries can sometimes be weaponized for political gain. To maintain credibility, the government must establish clear guidelines for the task force's operations, ensuring impartiality and transparency in all investigations. One possible approach is the formation of an independent advisory board comprising legal experts, civil society representatives, and international observers to provide oversight. This would help dispel fears of political bias and reinforce public confidence in the task force's integrity. Number 2, high-level investigations and prosecutions. The Anti-Corruption Task Force has been granted broad investigative and prosecutorial powers to strengthen accountability and transparency. Its primary mandate includes investigating government officials accused of corruption, ensuring that those who abuse public office are held accountable. Additionally, the task force is responsible for auditing ministries and state-owned enterprises to detect and prevent financial mismanagement. It also scrutinizes major public contracts to prevent fraudulent dealings and ensure fair and ethical procurement processes. Furthermore, the task force tracks illicit financial flows, including money laundering and tax evasion, to curb financial crimes and safeguard the country's economic stability. By targeting high-level officials and influential business figures, the task force aims to dismantle entrenched networks of corruption that have historically gone unpunished. This aggressive approach marks a departure from previous anti-corruption measures that focused on low-level bureaucrats while ignoring powerful elites. The ability to conduct comprehensive audits of ministries and state-owned enterprises is particularly significant. Corruption often thrives in the management of public resources, where opaque financial practices and weak oversight mechanisms enable embezzlement and fraud. By implementing systematic audits and making their findings publicly available, the task force can enhance accountability and deter corrupt practices. Another crucial aspect of the task force's mandate is the scrutiny of major public contracts. Government contracts have long been a source of corruption in Burkina Faso, with inflated costs, kickbacks, and favoritism undermining development projects. By ensuring that contracts are awarded transparently and in accordance with established procedures, the task force can prevent significant financial losses and improve public trust in state institutions. Number 3, whistleblower protection and public engagement. Recognizing the vital role of civilians in exposing corruption, the task force is implementing robust whistleblower protection measures. In the past, fear of retaliation has discouraged many from reporting corrupt practices. To address this issue, the government is introducing secure and anonymous reporting channels, allowing citizens to provide information without fearing persecution. A well-functioning whistleblower system is essential for effective anti-corruption efforts. Ensuring the confidentiality of whistleblowers and offering legal protection against retaliation will encourage more individuals to come forward with valuable information. Additionally, the government can incentivize whistleblowing by offering financial rewards or other forms of compensation for individuals who provide evidence leading to successful prosecutions. Public engagement is also a key component of this initiative. Awareness campaigns will educate citizens on their rights and encourage active participation in the fight against corruption. These campaigns will be carried out through various media channels, including radio, television, and social media, to reach a broad audience. By fostering a culture of accountability, the government hopes to empower ordinary Burkinabe to demand greater transparency from their leaders. Grassroots movements and civil society organizations will also be encouraged to participate in monitoring government activities, further strengthening the fight against corruption. Number 4, international cooperation. Given the transnational nature of corruption, the task force is expected to collaborate with global anti-corruption organizations. Many corrupt officials use offshore accounts and international business networks to hide illicit wealth. To combat this, Burkina Faso is seeking partnerships with various institutions to strengthen its efforts. It is collaborating with Interpol for international investigations and extraditions, ensuring that criminals cannot evade justice by crossing borders. Additionally, the country is working with the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, to combat money laundering and curb illicit financial activities. Regional collaboration is also a priority, with Burkina Faso engaging with the African Union Advisory Board on Corruption, AUABC, to address corruption at a continental level. Furthermore, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, is providing policy guidance and technical assistance to enhance the country's capacity to tackle crime effectively. These collaborations will enhance efforts to track and recover stolen assets, ensuring that corrupt actors cannot escape justice by exploiting international loopholes. In many cases, corruption-related funds are laundered through complex networks involving shell companies and offshore tax havens. By working with international financial institutions and enforcement agencies, the task force can uncover these schemes and take action to repatriate stolen assets. Another key aspect of international cooperation is knowledge sharing. By learning from successful anti-corruption initiatives in other countries, Burkina Faso can adopt best practices and avoid common pitfalls. Countries such as Singapore and Rwanda have made significant progress in reducing corruption, and their experiences could offer valuable insights for the task force.
Captain Traoré is taking a different route. His government's efforts are tangible, measurable, and backed by hard work, not empty promises. In a moment that truly captured the essence of his vision, a video went viral, showing a fleet of state-of-the-art construction and farming machinery being brought into Burkina Faso from Ghana. These weren't ordinary vehicles, they were high-tech, tools worth millions of dollars designed to jumpstart the nation's infrastructure development. What makes this story even more powerful is that it wasn't an official government announcement or a staged media event.
Challenges facing the anti-corruption initiative. While Traoré's anti-corruption drive is ambitious, it faces significant hurdles that could undermine its success. Addressing these challenges will require strategic planning, strong institutional frameworks, and unwavering commitment from the government. Resistance from the political and business elite. One of the most formidable obstacles is the opposition from entrenched elites who have long benefited from corruption. These individuals, wielding considerable political and economic influence, may attempt to obstruct investigations through legal maneuvers, political lobbying, or even efforts to destabilize the government. Historical precedent in many nations suggests that anti-corruption campaigns often provoke backlash from those who stand to lose the most. For example, previous anti-corruption efforts in Africa have been met with strong resistance, sometimes leading to political instability or policy reversals. The government must be prepared for such pushback by ensuring that enforcement mechanisms are robust and independent. Strengthening legal frameworks, shielding investigative bodies from external interference, and fostering public support will be crucial to counteract elite resistance. Risk of politicization. While Traoré has pledged neutrality, there remains a risk that the anti-corruption initiative could be used as a political weapon. Selective enforcement of anti-corruption laws could undermine the initiative's credibility and fuel accusations of authoritarianism or political score settling. This risk is not unique to Burkina Faso. In many countries, anti-corruption efforts have been manipulated to target political opponents while shielding allies. To mitigate this, the government must establish independent oversight mechanisms to ensure fairness and transparency. Creating a non-partisan anti-corruption task force with broad representation from civil society, legal experts, and international partners could enhance credibility. Public disclosure of investigative processes and adherence to due process will also help build trust in the initiative. Security and stability concerns. Burkina Faso is already grappling with significant security challenges, including extremist insurgencies and internal conflicts. A full-scale anti-corruption crackdown could further strain the country's stability, particularly if it disrupts key economic sectors or provokes unrest among influential groups. Businesses and foreign investors may become hesitant to operate in an environment where sudden legal actions disrupt established networks. The government must carefully balance its anti-corruption efforts with broader stability and governance considerations. Implementing reforms gradually, ensuring economic resilience, and maintaining open dialogue with key stakeholders will be essential in minimizing potential disruptions. By prioritizing both security and transparency, Traoré can navigate these challenges while advancing the fight against corruption. Potential impact on Burkina Faso's future. Despite numerous challenges, if Captain Ibrahim Traoré's anti-corruption drive is successfully implemented, it could have far-reaching positive effects on Burkina Faso's governance, economic stability, and regional influence. Tackling corruption effectively could transform the country's political landscape and serve as a catalyst for long-term progress. Strengthening public trust. One of the most significant consequences of persistent corruption has been widespread public disillusionment. For years, systemic corruption has eroded faith in government institutions, leaving many citizens skeptical about leadership and governance. A successful anti-corruption campaign could help restore confidence in public institutions, fostering greater national unity and civic engagement. If citizens believe that their leaders are acting in the best interests of the people, they will be more likely to participate in governance, support government initiatives, and contribute to national development. Furthermore, strengthening public trust is crucial for political stability. Discontent stemming from corruption has historically contributed to civil unrest and political instability. If Traoré's administration can demonstrate a genuine commitment to accountability, it may prevent further discontent and potential uprisings. Public trust is an essential pillar of democracy and governance, and an effective anti-corruption initiative could help solidify it in Burkina Faso. Economic growth and foreign investment. Corruption remains a major obstacle to economic progress. When bribery, embezzlement, and fraud infiltrate institutions, they distort markets, increase business costs, and discourage investment. Burkina Faso's ability to promote transparency and accountability could significantly enhance its economic prospects by attracting foreign investors who prioritize stability and ethical governance. Foreign direct investment, FDI, is essential for economic growth, job creation, and infrastructure development. Countries with strong anti-corruption frameworks tend to attract investors willing to engage in long-term business ventures, leading to increased economic productivity. By cleaning up corrupt practices, Burkina Faso can create an environment where businesses can thrive, local entrepreneurs can compete fairly, and citizens can benefit from improved living standards. Moreover, economic growth resulting from reduced corruption could increase government revenue, allowing for better public services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. With more resources allocated effectively, the quality of life for ordinary citizens could see substantial improvement. A model for West Africa. If Burkina Faso's anti-corruption initiative succeeds, it could serve as a model for other West African nations facing similar governance challenges. Many countries in the region struggle with corruption, which hampers development and weakens institutions. By demonstrating that corruption can be effectively tackled, Burkina Faso could position itself as a leader in governance reform. Success in this regard could inspire other nations to adopt similar strategies, promoting a collective shift toward transparency and good governance across the region. This would not only benefit Burkina Faso, but also contribute to the stability and economic prosperity of West Africa as a whole. A defining moment for Traoré's leadership. President Ibrahim Traoré's establishment of an anti-corruption task force marks a bold and unprecedented step in Burkina Faso's fight against graft. While the initiative carries significant risks, it also presents an opportunity to redefine the country's political and economic landscape. The success of this effort will depend on the government's commitment to impartial enforcement, public support, and international cooperation. If executed effectively, it could strengthen democracy, improve economic prospects, and inspire similar reforms across the region. However, if mismanaged, it could exacerbate political tensions and undermine Traoré's leadership. As the world watches, one thing remains clear. The fight against corruption in Burkina Faso is at a critical juncture, and its outcome will shape the nation's future for years to come. As Ibrahim Traoré pushes forward with his anti-corruption campaign, the stakes have never been higher. If successful, this task force could restore faith in Burkina Faso's institutions, bringing justice to those who have long exploited the system. But if it fails, or worse, if it becomes a weapon used to silence political rivals, then this move could further divide the nation and fuel more instability. With powerful figures now feeling the pressure, it's only a matter of time before the fight back begins. Will this initiative lead to real reform, or is it just another chapter in the power struggles that have shaped Burkina Faso's history? What do you think? Bold leadership or political maneuvering? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay ahead of the latest developments in African politics and global power shifts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is a story that's far from over. Stay tuned.